As always, click that like button and subscribe to stay up to the minute on all sweet science. Bernard the Executioner Hopkins grew up in the projects of Philadelphia. By the time he was 13, he'd been stabbed 3 times. By the time he was 17, he was looking at 18 years for an armed robbery. He took up boxing in prison, where he earned his Executioner nickname. After serving nearly 5 years, including witnessing a cigarette-related murder, Bernard Hopkins was released in 1988. The warden told him he'd see Bernard again soon. Bernard converted to Islam, swore off drinking and drugs, and totally committed his life to boxing, never to see the warden or prison again. Bernard had catching up to do. He didn't start fighting until he was nearly 20. He was tough and talented and utterly committed. Clawed his way up the ranks into his first title shot against Roy Jones Jr. Roy had been in the ring since he was 5. Bernard took it up at nearly 20. The experience gap showed.
He's gaining confidence, but maybe he loses some after that right hand by Jones.
Bernard lost, but learned, blossomed as a fighter. When Roy moved up, Hopkins was first in line to fight for the vacant title. From the opening bell, the key was his lead right hand. Time and again, Hopkins landed and roughed up the Ecuadorian challenger, Segundo Mercado. Mercado resorted to going low after taking a beating. Every time B-Hop paid him back with clean, effective punches, wore him down with a relentless attack, before knocking him out late to win his first championship.
Early in the 7th round, let's go. And I don't blame him. Hold it, that's it. That is it.
Bernard kept growing and learning on the job as champion. Most veterans know a dirty trick or two. Bernard Hopkins knew all of them. He never looked meaner or better than in his 11th defense of his IBF title, a rematch against Antoine Eccles. The fight just got dirtier and dirtier. Hopkins was clearly dominating. Tired of his gamemanship, yanked Hopkins' legs out from under him. Bernard dislocates his shoulder. Hopkins got up and chose to continue, smashing him even worse to retain his championship.
I don't think he wants to fight anymore. The referee did the exact right thing. He stopped fighting. He was looking for help from the referee.
In the 90s, Puerto Rico, like its flag, only had room for 1 star. Felix Trinidad was making waves in the welterweight division, getting the better of the biggest names around. Unlike Bernard, Trinidad grew up in the ring. Fast-tracked when he turned pro, he tore through the welterweight division with a sickening left hook and an excellent offensive instinct. He took his first title from Oscar de la Hoya to assume the mantle of pound-for-pound king and welterweight champion. Oscar was in command of the early going. But as the fight carried on, Felix stepped up and Oscar seemed to fall off. Felix nearly swept the late rounds and eventually the scorecards. Felix managed to pull off a controversial decision over the Golden Boy.
De Puerto Rico and the unified welterweight champion of the world, Felix Trinidad.
He jumped up in weight and brought every bit of power to 154, where he made a first-round statement against Mexican brawler Fernando Vargas. Vargas made a huge show of his introduction with a massive mariachi band and costumed Aztec warriors. Felix made a show of his Puerto Rican heritage by almost taking his head off within seconds.
Vargas
Vargas came back and fought a tough and determined fight even getting a knockdown of his own.
Right now we've got a war in our hands here between Felix Trinidad. The down goes Tito. How about that?
Ultimately, Vargas fell to a mean straight right in the last round.
Trinidad knocks him out.
Unbelievable turtle. What a definitive.
Then Felix made the jump to middleweight and destroyed a totally outgunned 160-pound William Joppy.
There's a big left hook from Tito Trinidad.
A terrific, perhaps telling first round.
Joppy goes down.
Another violent left hook in the first round.
Two hard right hands now. Stopping Joppy in his tracks. Big left hook.
Another mean right for the finish.
Joppy went down to the body. Stopped it.
With sensational performance.
And the stage was set. Bernard Hopkins, middleweight champion, and Felix Trinidad, the undefeated pound-for-pound king, signed to fight.
Hopkins going to come well prepared to fight with me, but once I hit him, the fight's going to be over.
Bernard was after every mental advantage he could get.
Sunday morning, everybody in Puerto Rico will have their flag at halftime.
Hopkins.
While hyping the fight in Felix's homeland, Bernard grabbed the Puerto Rican flag and threw it to the floor. This bit of Machiavellian mind game nearly got him stomped out by an outraged crowd. But all this took a back seat in an instant. September 11th, 2001. A day which has defined a century so far. The tragic loss of nearly 3,000 American lives ushered in a new era of fear and paranoia not felt since the Cold War. The world clamped down tight, and to this day, it still hasn't quite let go. The fight would have to wait. Originally scheduled for September 15th, it was put off 2 weeks. When the lights came back on in Madison Square Garden, all involved knew the magnitude of the occasion. The Puerto Rican fan base turned out at MSG, glad to have something to think about other than the horror of the real world. Shedding the executioner outfit because nobody needed another reminder of death. Bernard came out wrapped in the flag. To America the Beautiful. They still booed him. But this wasn't a popularity contest. When the fight got going, so did B-Hop. Hopkins' combination of reach and technical know-how on the outside frustrated the shorter fighter.
Biggest blow of the fight. Trinidad momentarily in round 3.
But Bernard Hopkins isn't fading.
Oh, and the bet looks pretty good. Hopkins tries to fire back immediately. Trinidad misses with the right. Hopkins lands his own. Backs Tito up.
His vicious mauling inside game meant the only range Felix could beat Hopkins was at the puncher's range, just outside the pocket, where Felix could land his power, but was too far away for Hopkins to grab.
A lot of different footwork. Legs up, moving around. That's not good. He's got his back against the ropes. He's living dangerously.
The world knew Felix's left hook was dynamite. Bernard knew to keep his right hand pinned to his temple. It was enough to snuff out the fuse. All of a sudden, the best fighter in boxing is getting drowned in the deep end. Hopkins' work going in and out of the clinch kept Felix guessing. It was a master class of range management.
Taking punishment. We're seeing a real champion in Trinidad because he's come from some serious fire.
This is the determination of Felix Trinidad. Man is going to have to take some chances. And if
In the end, he shifted his way in with an uppercut, baiting the hook. When Tito bit, Bernard was in perfect position to lop the neck off the pound-for-pound king.
Huge right hand by Hopkins. Down goes Trinidad. I'm not sure Tito can get up. He's got the desire. He's never been knocked out.
The first man to win a title in Madison Square Garden in the post-9/11 world was a Muslim American draped in an American flag.
It's